All right, Shalom Akim. I'm Zahab of the GMS Mississippi Camp Spirit Wind Judah, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. Also giving double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I want to say peace and blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. So today I want to go into culture and health. Okay, because most of us, all of us were Israelites. So when I say black culture, I'm really referring to so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American culture and has affected our health. Because, just analyzing certain things, there are 5 things or 5 reasons why a lot of Israelites have health problems. And I call it the 4 C's: culture, cost, comfort, and convenience. Culture being number 1. Whether it's the standard American culture, giving you the standard American diet, or the so-called black, Hispanic, Native American culture. We're starting with so-called black culture. Our diet comes from the plantation. You get this low-grade vegetable oil and you fry everything. And you kill all the nutrients and everything. Because as soon as you cook certain food over 112 degrees Fahrenheit, you kill the nutrients, okay? Not every single food, but most of them. And shalom to the Akim, okay? So culture, cost, comfort, and convenience. So a lot of times people blame their parents for the diseases they inherit, but it's not so much that their parents gave them the disease or they inherited the disease. They inherited the lifestyle of their parents. They inherited the same diet that their parents had that caused the disease, the dis-ease, okay? Your grandma or mom, she cooked everything in oil, even things that produces own oil like pork and bacon. She even cooked that in oil. She dumped butter and sugar and salt and everything. It's a pretty good chance that you're going to do the same thing. And then you're going to do the same thing with your kids. And your offspring going to inherit the disease at an earlier age, you see? So you got culture, cost, comfort, and convenience. So even if you didn't grow up in the South or you don't have the plantation diet, it's a pretty good chance you have the standard American diet, which is mostly carbs, a lot of fat, a lot of protein, but it's nutrient deficient. So you're not eating a lot of fruit, you're not eating a lot of vegetables, all right? They got something called blue zones. These are places in the world where people live the longest, and they pretty much factored in at these certain places where people live the longest. One particular place, people eat meat like 5 times a month. So that's just about once a week. The rest of their diet is about 90% plant-based, man. And these are the same zones where people live 90 years old, live to be 90 on average. They live to be 90 on average, okay? But they eat meat about 5 times a month. And they're considered a third world country, but they have so-called community, okay? They have a utilitarian lifestyle. We in the Western Hemisphere, we have everything given to us, yet everything is killing us. We have the highest death rate from all the diseases, especially the 12 tribes, okay? But going back to culture, our culture is detrimental. The American culture and the so-called black culture has provided a detrimental diet to us, man. All right, whether it's from a poverty-stricken standpoint where the mom gets some called WIC and she gets government assistance and the government gives her a selection of food like that big block of cheese or that powdered milk. All right, how's that nourishment for the offspring, man? Can you imagine that big block of cheese? If it's hard enough to melt on the stove, imagine it solidifying in your arteries, man. But that's her offspring's foundation. So they're gonna have offspring and they're gonna do the same thing, okay? So that's just one of the 4 C's is culture. Something that's traditional, it makes you blind to how it's hurting you, man, because it's part of your culture. All right. The second thing is cost. When you get off work or on your way to work, the average American, they drive through a McDonald's line, okay? Well, let me ask you, how is a McGriddle, a McMuffin, which we already know is human meat, but even outside of that, how is that beneficial to your body? So, but it's cheaper for you to buy BS. Down here we got little Save-A-Lot stores, and they have something called Pick 5, which means you get 5 packages of meat for $19.95. Where a grass-fed lamb itself, one little lamb, is probably about $7, $8. One little lamb. So you get 5 packages of meat with multiple meat in the packages for about 20 bucks. That'll feed your family for a good minute. But guess what? It's the lowest grade of meat. It's the lowest quality of meat, man. Okay? It's the lowest grade. It's the lowest quality. It has the antibiotics. It has the steroids. These are the chickens that was in the concentration camps, all right? Inhaling, exhaling bacteria. Chickens dying on top of each other. They're walking over the corpse and giving, this is what our people ingest. But guess what? It's the cheapest. So if you grew up like I did, mom was looking for the cheapest way out. But ultimately, it costs the most because it costs you your health. It costs you your health, okay? So that's something to consider, man. Culture and cost. It's cheaper to buy junk food. A bag of apples might cost you $10. A bag of Skittles is like 70 cents. You get a human-sized bag of chips for about $2, $3, man. But you buy some kale chips, for a little bag of kale chips, it's $5, man, on a minimum. Okay, a little bag of kale chips. Okay, so Esau has it set up to where it's cheaper to kill yourself. All right, and if you're coming from that save money standpoint, that on a lesser end monetarily standpoint, we kind of program and condition to look for the cheaper price, man. But like somebody told me last year, you buy cheap, you get cheap, and that's true, man. Even when it comes to food, you buy the lower grade food because it's cheaper. It's gonna cost you in the long run because at the end of the day, you're gonna come out of pocket when it comes to medical bills, time away from work, time away from handling business, because you're in your 40s and 50s on the hospital bed, man. But you cause your own effect through your culture, your costs. The third reason why, a lot of Israelites suffer from these diseases, which goes back to the curses, but comfort, man. We don't eat food for nourishment anymore, meaning nutrition. We don't eat food to restore us and rejuvenate us and rebuild us. We eat food because we're oppressed and we want comfort. All right, you want that salty food. You want the greasy food. You want that greasy sensation when you eat it. All right, you want that the sweet food. Okay, so you're not really eating for a benefit. The only benefit is something sensual that satisfies you short term because you're dealing with your reality. So you eat ice cream and you buying this pizza because of all these different flavors in your taste bud. But you have to ask yourself what nutritional benefit that the ice cream, pizza, fried chicken have. You might say the fried chicken has protein, but guess what? With that low-grade vegetable oil and that excess amount of salt, you're not gonna die from a protein deficiency. You're gonna die from high blood pressure. Okay. So the benefit is gonna be dominated by the liability, man. The liability is the excess salt. The grease is clogging up your arteries. But yep, you had your protein, right? I'm gonna tell you something, man. That protein, associated meat with protein, that's really pushed by the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, meat has protein in it, but guess what? Avocados have protein. Beans and rice collectively is a complete protein, meaning it has all the essential amino acids that make protein. Quinoa has protein, okay? How many people that's sick or die from a protein deficiency, as opposed to the people that die from high blood pressure, diabetes, heart failure, because they had excess meat, man. They had low-grade meat and they had excess meat. We didn't eat meat every day in the ancient world. How do I know? Because you ate from your backyard. You ate from your land. You had lambs, you had goats, but your goats and lambs had jobs. They had duties. Your sheep had duties, man. Okay? Your cows had duties. They weren't just standing there to be cute, They had duties like your ox. Your ox had duties. They had to till the land. So if you ate, so basically they were your employees, man. So if you ate your employees, how did you have a livelihood, man? You see? But we know we had fish in the ancient world. We had fishermen, and we did hunt. But generally, we ate mostly vegetables, man. Eating meat was a luxury. That was more like a status thing, man. That's something that kings did. Hence the scripture in Daniel where Daniel refused to eat the king's meat, or he didn't want to eat the king's meat, but he ended up eating the post for 3 weeks. Now, did he have a protein deficiency by eating post for 3 weeks? He was actually healthier than the king. Him and his men were healthier than the king, man. Okay? But going back to comfort, you know, our people, we eat, Jay eats for comfort, man. For sensuality. It's part of the culture. Sitting in front of the TV, watching your favorite TV show, watching Power, eating a big bag of Cheetos because it's pleasurable, and your ice cream, and your little snack cakes, you know, because it's pleasurable. Playing Call of Duty with some Kool-Aid and a sandwich next to you. That sweet Kool-Aid, that crack Kool-Aid, you see? But it's pleasurable. That's part of the culture as well. But the comfort, that's part of your comfort too. You see? It's not about tasting good. It's about your vitality and your energy. You're supposed to eat for energy. The food breaks down into nutrient molecules, and your cells eat the molecules, the food molecules and oxygen molecules. In turn, you have vitality, man. Okay? So we have culture, we have cost, we have comfort, and the last one is convenient. Like I said, it's way more convenient to drive through a fast food window and order your food. You don't know how that food was slaughtered, how it was butchered. You didn't even see it. Your brain attached eating to driving through a fast food window. All right? So convenience is killing Americans, but ultimately it's killing our people, because that's who I'm concerned with, man. Convenience is killing us, man. Even if you go to a grocery store, you could buy a food dinner full of preservatives and additives to preserve the food, but it has no nutritional value. You look on the ingredients, it has a whole list of words that you can't pronounce, but yet you put it in your system, man. You put it in your body, man. So the 4 C's, that's basically the death of our people, okay, when it comes to health, culture, cost, comfort, and convenience, man. You see? But, you know, with that, I hope you brothers are edified. Shalom to the Akim. You know, may the Most High, you know, reserve the elect down there in Florida, you know, seeing how things play out with that. And, you know, death and destruction to America, man. All right? Well, I hope you brothers are edified. To the next lesson, Shalom.